Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now Cyclops' deep dive is out, as well as full description of his abilities. So we're gonna take a look at exactly that. First things first, we're gonna see another snippet of his gameplay, effectively his rotation. So from the start of the fight, you want to do about 3 hit combos, and then go for dash back intercept as much as possible. Build up to 3 bars of power, and once you are at 3 bars power, you can't actually use it unless you get to 20 precisions. But that's kind of part of the plan, because in most of the fights, you will want to drop your level 2, ideally intercept with that level 2, and then a level 1, and then a level 1. And if you're up against somebody that's extremely chunky, then you get to 20 precisions, then you can use your level 3, it costs no power, and then you can go for your level 2, level 1, level 1, level 1, and nuke that fight down as well. So in essence, he's fairly straightforward to use. You want to build up your precisions by intercepting or doing at least 3 hit combos, and then you want to nuke into your opponent with massive special attacks and your power reserves. So there we go. Let's actually take a look at all of his abilities and some of the dev notes. So Cyclops blue team, obviously the rework champion. His base stats do not seem particularly impressive. In prestige department, survivability is marked down as 3. Damage is 4.5 out of 5, which seems quite good. Damage definitely the biggest thing he has going for him. Ease of use is 2, so he's not particularly easy champion to use, namely because you won't be intercepting a lot, and there are no safeguards, no safety nets. Utility is marked down as 3, which I think is fair. Defender strength, he's not a defender. So, Cyclops blue team's mechanic. As the winner of Summoner's Choice Rework, Cyclops blue team is charging back into the contest with an updated look and a fully new kit. The precisions and unblockable special attacks of yesteryear have been upgraded and combined with newer effects like true focus, power efficiencies, allowing Cyclops to unleash flurries of beams and rapid special attacks. Animations do look very cool, by the way. I have to note that. The basic abilities: true focus, precision, unblockable, prowess, power efficiency, strength, optic blast, damage, true focus. This is like the biggest selling point for him. I think if it wouldn't be for the true focus, I would utterly not be interested in champion. But he can effectively have true focus on from the very beginning of the fight, the entire fight. That's fairly massive. Being able to completely bypass miss and evade is a big thing. It's super useful on Serpent. It should be super useful here. So as long as he stays aggressive, Cyclops can keep true focus effect active and not have to worry about missing or being evaded. Power efficiency, that's cool. Weaknesses are special reliances, power punishment, and critical mitigation. He does kind of rely on the crit RNG for the big damage. So, abilities. Calm under pressure. Always at the ready, Cyclops' defensive ability accuracy cannot be reduced. This is mainly to protect his parry. So he's going to always be able to parry against like crossbones, against disorients, and effects of similar nature. Other than that, he doesn't really have any defensive abilities. As an attacker, rather than running forward or not performing an action, Cyclops stands still. This stoicism unnerves the opponent and makes them more aggressive. Now, there are 2 things. Number 1, I love that. You can make opponent more aggressive. Any AI manipulation, definitely for it. It's always super useful and more uses to it than people initially realize. It makes intercepting easier, which is crucial for his kit, so I think that's perfectly placed. The not running forward thing, I'm not a big fan of. I don't like it, because by not running forward, you typically have a significantly harder time baiting out special attacks and so on. So it is one of those things, it's not a deal breaker for me, but I'm not a fan of, how Mantis stands still, for instance. But, we'll see how it feels on Cyclops when he comes out. Start each fight against non-tech champions with a true focus buff for 10 seconds. Refreshed when gaining a personal position. If not active, it re-triggers when Cyclops activates any special attack. So this is massive. Again, at the very beginning, completely shut down in evade and miss. And it's a simple utility, but it's incredibly powerful. Because we have a ton of abilities in the game that, reduce their evade ability accuracy, or you need to get to level 2 to shut down their evade. But champions who just do it from the beginning, much more useful. While he doesn't have any defensive abilities within his own kit, Cyclops' defensive ability accuracy does protect his somewhat commonly used parry mastery, giving him a very comfortable safety net against disorients and sabotages from skill champions. Like Mantis, he doesn't rush forward. True Focus is buff, also seen on Serpent, that bypasses miss and evade effects. Yes, this does work against Bullseye. He is potentially going to be quite a good Bullseye counter. So, Precision. A Master Marksman, Cyclops' Precision passives increase his critical rating by 118, so it's a very tiny precision, for 10 seconds. These expire one at a time and are refreshed when he gains a new one, max stacks 20. The third basic attack in combo grants him a precision, intercepting the opponent grants him a precision, intercepting with a special attack grants 4 precisions. So this is a base of his playstyle. You want to be building these up for the rest of his abilities to work well. Going for special intercepts is more high risk reward option, which is a bit more practice. It can become very consistent. Well, if your specials are unblockable, there isn't that much of a risk, to be honest. So at 10 plus personal precision, Cyclops' special attacks are passively unblockable. For each personal precision, the first hit of a special attack that lands grants Cyclops 20% prowess passive for 2 seconds. Max stacks 100. Personal effects are refreshed and paused during Cyclops' special attacks. And it's a very short duration, but again, it's paused and you're meant to be spamming those specials in quick succession so they build up. So special attack 1, on activation, gain 20% power efficiency passive for 2 seconds. Max stacks 2. And special attack 2, beam barrage, on activation, gain non-stacking 30% power efficiency passive for 2 seconds. And on activation, gain 5 personal prowess passives as well. So again, so you're meant to use level 2, that's give you 30% less power that you're using, then use your level 1, and then use your level 1, something like that. Special 3, on activation, gain a 5% power efficiency passive for 2 seconds, so it's even a little bit more. As an attacker, this special attack can only be activated with at least 20 personal precisions, and only once per fight. It costs 100% less power, so you can go level 3, level 2, level 1, level 1, level 1 type of situation. Signature ability. Now this is also going to be kind of a make or break type of situation, because leading the charge, Cyclops stores 90% of the damage taken from bleeds and physical taunts as adrenaline. And I'm not a fan of this, and this is the thing that makes me more worried about Cyclops than most people are at the moment. Because if we need nuky mutants, we have a ton of them. That does not necessarily make a great character. The fact that he shuts down evade and miss, that's a step in the right direction. But now when we're looking at the matchups that you typically want to use like a mutant with, and obviously naturally you have to kind of counter the skill class, you know, going up against Atuma or Korgs and Killmongers and the like, this just doesn't seem good or great. Now, if it works in the game where you finish the fights against Korg, even if you go with your like medium combo of starters, like 95% health, if you don't mess up, then fine. But ultimately, we have the Dazzlers, we have the Onslaughts, we have the Negasonics, who completely bypass all of that by either not making any contact or reflecting that damage, so on and so forth. Reducing the damage you take by 90% maximum, and keep in mind this is adrenaline. It doesn't mean that you don't take any damage, it just means you have a chance to recuperate some. It seems significantly less than. And this is what I think is going to make or break the character. Ultimately, if he is going to be a very, very good and fast option against Atuma, Korg, Killmonger, etc., and Bullseye, then he's gonna be good champion for sure. And then I can see him being popular, ranked, and used a ton. If this still is nowhere near effective enough, which could potentially be, then I think he's just gonna be left behind another Gamora-esque character, which is, you know, great situationally, very nuky, potentially super high damage output in some specific situations. Realistically, there are just better options out there that are easier to play and do more. So that is where I think, you know, he's gonna lie in. So Additional ability for each other X-Men on the team. Cyclops enters his first fight with a persistent tactician charge, each increasing his personal prowess potency by 2% flat, and his personal true focus and precision durations by 1 second. Winning a fight grants Cyclops plus 1 charge, max stacks 10. So, you know, you can build his damage up a bit as well in quests and stuff. But yeah, there's one more thing. What makes me very skeptical about this. Number one, again, we do have effectively mutant equivalents that do this thing kind of as well, if not better. Like even Jean Grey with her force field have like better counter to a Tumo and Korg and the like. Then obviously we have the Dazzlers, the Negasonics, and the whatnots. And now there is one more point that does concern me. And again, just to be perfectly clear, I want Cyclops to be good. I'm getting a 7-star Cyclops or a double track. You know, it would be awesome if he's great and if he pushes out some of the other mutants that I might like less, like Negasonic, for instance. But typically, historically, whenever Kabam does release a champion with a new mechanic, that champion almost always sucks. Before Baron Zemo, we had Kraven. Before, let's say, Professor X, we had Maud that had to get buffed 4 times. Before potentially good Yelena Belova, we had Patriot, who are the first reversal champions. And that story repeats itself time after time, time after time. Whenever Kabam does something that they have not done before and bring in a new dimension to a champion, the initial attempt is always very underpowered. And then eventually, there's going to be something good. So I hope this is not the case. But that has been the historical kind of precedent with Kabam. Kabam released something to kind of test the waters, check it out, and then make something with the same mechanic that's actually good. I hope this works well. I hope, you know, it's potent enough. But we'll see. How my worries there. Also about the scaling of the SIG level, I suppose. So Synergies, Cyclops blue team with America Chavez. Beam hits deal additional bursts of physical damage equal 10% of the damage dealt. It's nice. The final 3 hits of special attack 2 do additional bursts of physical damage. Now this is quite neat for America Chavez. I quite like that. Blue Boy Scouts, unique 6-star with Gladiator. For the first second of each fight, Cyclops has a 100% chance to evade and counteract attack, dealing 200% of attacker's burst of energy damage on hit. Additionally, he evades the first time he would be struck during a medium attack. This is a crazy good synergy for Cyclops, I think. Gladiator, increase the confidence limit by +3. And that's solid for Gladiator too. Hercules, Icarus, Medusa, Circe. Gain 10% attack rating for each champion Cyclops defeats in a quest. Hey, that's quite nice. Damaging debuffs gain 20% potency. What kind of damaging debuffs does Hercules have? Whatever. Romance with Jean Grey, Mutant Agenda with Colossus, Nemesis with Magneto, Teammates. Okay, that's fine. Recommended Masteries, Cruelty. That makes sense. So basically nothing out of the ordinary. Recommended Stat Focus, Attack at Adrenaline. And Awakened Cyclops has access to Adrenaline, so opting into this often overlooked Stat Focus increases his overall. And that kind of makes sense. That's neat. I like that. Defender, special damage. Fair enough. Recommended Relic, Storm. Names have always done. Okay. That makes sense. So Storm Relic. So there we go. That is Cyclops. Ultimately, he looks very, very fun. For sure. How needed, how relevant he's going to be, that without a doubt remains to be seen. Again, I love the true focus and the fact that you can have it from the very beginning of the fight. That's massive. I am worried about his SIG ability. And if that doesn't work out, then I'm worried about, you know, his matchup performance. How well he's going to do in the matchups that he's expected to do well. So let me know, what do you guys think? But one thing is for sure. As soon as the update drops, we're going to take him for a spin. And we're going to do some pew pew pew. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all